Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Bengals versus Giants NFL Sunday Night Football matchup on Sunday, October 13th, 2024. If you like all the free picks we do at Pickdawgz, you'll love our premium picks, our best bets. Just go to Pickdawgz.com, click on the premium picks tab. We've also got a link directly below this video in the description. Prices start at $15, but regardless, you can use that discount code PICK to get 15% off. We also have products meant for people that make bigger bets, people with big bankrolls looking for a VIP type experience. Just keep in mind before you text that number you see on the screen that these are our most expensive premium products. They're also long-term packages, not one-game bailouts. But anyways, let's get to this one. We got the Giants taking on the Bengals. The Giants 2-3 on the season. The Bengals 1-4 coming off of an absolute heartbreaker against the Ravens. Lined up for the game-winning field goal. The holder drops the ball, tries to get it back up. It's Shankopotamus, and the Bengals dropped a 1-4 after Derrick Henry runs one right down their throat, almost all the way into the end zone. Didn't matter. It was a chip shot for Tucker at that point, and it was a Ravens win. Bengals just have that one win this season, beating the Panthers 34-24. They were only 4.5-point road favorites in that game, which just tells you where the Bengals have been. But you look at this schedule, and outside of that loss against the Patriots, well, they've lost against some pretty good teams here in the Chiefs, the upstart Commanders, and as well as those Baltimore Ravens, who are absolutely rolling right now. When we look at the Giants coming into this one, coming off an upset win on the road at Seattle, 29-20, on the heels of that push heard around the world against the Cowboys, the win against the Cleveland Browns, who are just god-awful this year. Also losing to the Commanders and the Minnesota Vikings. We've seen the highs and lows from the Giants. That game against the Vikings was about as bad as it gets. Meanwhile, the Bengals, surprising because this is a team that we've seen in the playoffs just about every single year. We look at the passing yards for the Bengals. Joe Burrow being Joe Burrow. 263 yards per game, fourth best in the NFL in passing. The offense, 359 yards per game, puts them ninth. It's the rushing attack at just 96 yards per game. You know, Joe Mixon was never really seen as that three-down back for the Bengals, but boy, they could sure use him now because that rushing attack has been pretty anemic. We look at the Giants, and they just haven't been all that great at stopping the run. 5.1 yards per carry against, but total rushing yards just 115.4 per game. The Giants' pass defense is definitely vulnerable. They're middle of the pack, allowing over 200 yards per game. Joe Burrow, when it comes to QB rating, he is number one in the NFL, and the Giants, well, when it comes to holding QBs, they are 27th best in QB rating against. That is terrible. The Bengals' offense not shooting themselves in the foot. Third best in the NFL in penalties against and second best in penalty yards against, while the Giants' defense is penalized pretty well. The Giants really not good at ball hawking and intercepting the football. We look at the Bengals' defense, and that is where really the problem has been. 26th in the NFL in yards allowed up against the Giants' offense. It's 20th in the NFL, and while that number really isn't very good, it's a lot better than we would think that the Giants would be. In fact, in passing yards per game, 218.2, which is not an impressive number, but it puts you 13th best in the NFL in this year, where it's been a little bit of a pullback, right? Almost old school NFL. And all these rule changes, shortening the games, making all these yardage numbers a lot lower than they used to be. I mean, significantly lower. And it is the rule changes and the clock and all these different things. You shorten the game and shorten the game and shorten the game. And, even though they end later, the earlier games, plugging them with all those commercials, well, all you have to do is look at these numbers and you can see, there's a lot less football being played out there. I think when you look at, some of these other things, the Bengals just not getting to the quarterback, 31st in the NFL in sacks, just all things that they need to pick up. They are the least penalized defense, though, in the NFL. I think this is one of these games where it's like, I think that the Bengals are the far better team. I think they win this game. I just think it's probably closer than it needs to be because that's the way the Bengals have played this year. I'll just take the Giants with the points in the game. I think the Bengals win outright. So it's either Bengals money line or Giants with the points. For the purpose of this video, we'll do Giants with the points, and that's going to be my free pick. course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.